Good afternoon again to some people, and welcome to the Sunday service of the Unitarians of Lake Norman. We Unitarians are an open and inclusive congregation. Our members walk wildly diverse paths to find meaning and purpose, but we're united by our belief in the inherent worth and dignity of all, and by the responsibility to express our faith through acts of justice and compassion. My name is Sandy McFeely, and I've been an active member of this congregation since 2013. Our musician today is Mike Alec, fabulously assisted by Eddie Gunn. Our speaker today is our own Reverend Pat Jobe. I'm trying to remember what I wrote in my real script for this, but he's here today to welcome us back from a far too long, far too hot month off. And some bad news. He wants to tell us about St. Augustine of Hippo, who was around in the 3rd century. What did St. Augustine. Now, what did he bring us? He brought us the concept of original sin. For all the years of my Catholic schooling, and they were numerous, I knew all about original sin, and I kind of thought then it was baloney, but you don't say that to all the nuns because it's not the thing to do. Pat has never left us on a low note, on anything that's truly depressing, although he has described that phrase, original sin, as horrible, dreadful, and if I may quote him exactly, a bummer. I read that in the newsletter that came out just Thursday. Surely everybody else saw it also, right? Yeah, okay. We start our services and other activities by lighting a candle in a chalice and speaking words appropriate to that occasion. Please join me in saying today's chalice lighting words, which are in your order of service. We light this flaming chalice to illuminate the world we seek. Search for truth, may we be just. Search for justice, may we be fair and loving. And in loving, may we find peace. Small corrections will be made shortly. And now, Pat Jobe himself will give us some opening words.
You're faux sunny. I do have opening words, but as is my custom, I want to do other stuff too while I'm up here. I want to especially welcome our visitors. Only one other time have we had this many visitors. And some of you will remember we had a speaker, speaking of the mosque, we had a speaker from the mosque in Charlotte who came up and brought 20 people with her. And we tried to make that standard for any visiting speaker, that they had to bring 20 people, but it hasn't caught on. But I'm so thrilled, of course, that Valerie is here. This is wonderful. Valerie attended Arlington Street in Boston, where Theodore Parker was the minister. And Theodore Parker is the one who said, the arc of history is long, but it bends toward justice, which was then appropriated by Martin Luther King, so that everybody thinks King said it, but it was Parker who said it first. And Parker also kept a revolver on his pulpit in case any slave catchers came into Arlington Street. He never had to shoot any, but I think the word on the street was, don't try to catch any slaves at Arlington Street, because the preacher is armed. Allison and Ben are here. As you heard, they're checking us out. And Dale is here, although Dale just told us he is an ordained UCC minister. Now, a lot of people think that UCC stands for United Church of Christ. What we know is that it actually stands for Unitarians Considering Christ. And thank you, Phil. And Barbara and Eva are back, and we're thrilled that you all are back. Thank you. Thank you for coming back. And Hayden is here. Where is Hayden? There she is. Hayden, we are so thrilled you're here. Thank you for coming. It means the world to us. And in just a few minutes, Barbara is going to play on her violin, "Jesus, Joy of Man's Desiring," which, Mike, with all apologies, has to be one of the most beautiful pieces of music on the planet.
Johnny Bach, he wrote a bowl.
Oh, yeah, good old Johnny. And I know some of you are curious as to why I have T-shirts on my arm. This one is from our animal ministry. We, as most of you know, but some of you don't know, we build fences to get dogs off chains. And chainfreedogs.org is our website. And my brother and I have been remiss in not showing up for dog fence builds the last few months, but we're confessing our sins today, so we're going to try to do better. This shirt is from Siembra's statewide town hall that was held yesterday. And candidates for office, including Justice Earls, who is so wonderful. Justice Earls serves on the state Supreme Court and talked a lot about the rulings of the state Supreme Court that have truncated voting rights, and the attempt to kick Justice Riggs off 2 years ago when they tried to invalidate 62,000 ballots. They tried to nullify 62,000 ballots on no grounds. They just went for it. They said, this will be fun. We'll knock 62,000 people out of voting and we'll get another Republican on the Supreme Court. How wonderful. Thank goodness it didn't work. But this rally that I attended yesterday at the Carolina Theater in Greensboro was attended by immigrants, was attended by Black people, was attended by white people, was attended by young people, was attended by old people. It was fabulous. And there were 3 other candidates for office who were there, including Senator Woodson Bradley, who is an incumbent North Carolina senator from Charlotte. And she is wonderful. If you ever get the chance to be with her or campaign for her or help her out in any way, she looked out at that crowd yesterday and she said, y'all, they are just a bunch of weirdos. The people she serves with in the state Senate who have done all these horrible things like raising the copay for Medicaid. Are you kidding me? The poorest people in North Carolina now have to pay $35 copay to use Medicaid instead of $4. We have someone very close to us who I will not name, who has to take 6 medications. She was paying $24 in copay before this law passed. She is now paying $200 in copay. And it's, as my beloved Sandy McFeely said earlier today, it's just cruelty. They seem to be motivated by nothing more than cruelty. Our opening words come from Walt Whitman, and they are for you, Greg Davis, and they are for you, Mary Nicholson, and they are for you, Hal, Sue, Jim, Kim, Natalie. The sum of all known reverence, I add up in you, whoever you are. Those who govern are there for you. It is not you who are there for them. All architecture is what you do to it when you look upon it. All music is what awakens from you when you are reminded by the instruments. The sun and the stars that float in the open air, the apple-shaped earth and we upon it, the endless pride and outstretching of people, unspeakable joys and sorrows, the wonder everyone sees in everyone else they see, and the wonders that fill each minute of time forever. It is for you, whoever you are. It is no farther from you than your hearing and sight are from you. It is hinted by nearness, commonest, readiest. We consider Bibles and religions divine. I do not say they are not divine. I say that they are grown out of you and may grow out of you still. It is not they who give the life, but you who give the life. Will you seek afar off? Surely come back at last in things best known to you, finding the best or as good as the best. Happiness, knowledge, not in another place, but in this place, not for another hour, but for this hour.
Oh, it's me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
See how beautiful I can make this pocket piece. Not promising anything, but I'll do the best I can. I played the late Norman Philharmonic, which is a 70-piece volunteer orchestra, and it's absolute fabulous. And of course, I do better by myself, because I never have to follow all the rest of them. One, it's nice. I'm okay in the orchestra, I'm okay as a soloist.
Thank you so much, Bart, for taking us into a place of calm and reflection. Yeah, Jobe is up now.
Ernie Mills is the UU minister over in Landrum and serves Trine and Columbus, that neck of the woods. He said the idea of original sin is the awfulest lie in the history of the world. Now, Ernie probably did not say awfulest. because his grammar is better than mine. But it is awful. Awful to the nth degree. It's the idea of original sin that is awful. Original sin is not real. It's the idea that is awful. The idea that we are all born astride the grave in an awful darkness from which only Jesus can save us and keep us out of the eternal fat fryer of hell. It is just a shameless, awful lie. It even contradicts a lot of what Jesus said, or what Jesus gets credit for saying in the Christian text. The words original sin do not appear in the books that Christians call the New Testament. It was pasted on in the 3rd century. And many scholars believe the whole idea of eternal punishment is a 3rd century construct. We can talk more about that after the service if you would like to. Now, let me be clear as a bell ringing in the morning light. I am not by any measure saying that all Christians believe this terrible lie, or that all Christians are nuts, because I know plenty of Christians who heard Jesus say, love your neighbor as yourself, and they did it. Some of them are in this room at this moment. They have loved other people to the point of sometimes harming themselves. In the words of Jesus, they have laid down their lives for their friends. I've heard many ministers say that is not a reference to dying for your friend. It is a reference to living for your friend. And I believe in that. Part of the genius of Unitarian Universalism is our ability to sift through lies and hang on to truth. And I am so sorry that I spent 10 years of my life standing in the pulpit of so-called Christian churches and did not tell those people that a lot of what is preached in those churches is a bunch of hooey. It was a wrong thing that I did, and I have gone back to that same church house and have warned them that there are 2 ways to call yourself a Christian, and one of them is right and the other is wrong. That is my confession. I should have told them that 30 years ago, and I did not. Here's a quote from Wendell Berry that really reinforces what I just said. How many of you recognize the name Wendell Berry? Okay, good. We got a good crowd going here. Wendell Berry is a famous poet and Kentucky farmer who says that he flies all over the world telling people not to travel. But this is his quote. This is his quote that I want you to pay attention to. Especially among Christians in positions of wealth and power, the idea of reading the Gospels and keeping Jesus' commandments as stated therein has been replaced by a curious process of logic. According to this process, people first declare themselves to be followers of Christ, and then they assume that whatever they say or do is Christian. A curious process of logic. They say, I guess, since I'm a Christian, it's okay for me to fail when I'm given an opportunity to feed somebody who is hungry. It is okay for me to fail when somebody needs a place to live and I don't help them find a place to live. It's okay for me to fail when my government is supporting genocide in Gaza, war in Iran and Lebanon and Syria and Yemen and the sub-Saharan Africa. Since I'm a Christian, it is okay for me to do what I damn well please because Jesus will forgive me no matter what. And I've already said I know Christians who get Jesus right. And let me add that there are Buddhists who get Buddha right. And there are Muslims who get Muhammad right. And Hindus who get all their gods right. and love their neighbors as they love themselves. And yes, of course, there are plenty of atheists and agnostics who get reason and logic right to the point that they are able to love their neighbors as they love themselves. But I would be leaving something out if I did not also say that the army which drove the Rohingya out of Myanmar was made up primarily of people who call themselves Buddhists. They burned their villages and drove them out like cattle. About 1 million of the Rohingya are living horrible lives on the islands off the coast of Bangladesh today as we speak. I would be leaving something out if I did not mention that 99.9% of Muslims are wonderful people, peace-loving, tax-paying, get along with everybody people. But they have that 1/100th of 1% who are knuckleheads. And there is a strand of Hindu fundamentalism that is murderous, and you don't want to hear the details. In fact, this whole picture needs to be repainted for you. I want to really, really emphasize the goodness and grace that is practiced by most people, regardless of what religion they adhere to or whether they claim any religion at all. I'll never forget a t-shirt I saw at General Assembly in huge letters. It said, "I believe in good." The word good was about that big on the t-shirt. And you had to kind of take a second look. And the woman wearing it said, that second look is how that t-shirt was designed. She was a humanist. And she was saying, I believe in good as opposed to I believe in God. She said that was on purpose. They designed it that way. We are always so much more interested in the ways people act than what they say they believe. That's Unitarian Universalism. I so wish I had said that to the Methodists 30 years ago. And I am confessing to you today because it has only recently hit me that ideas like original sin and eternal damnation are not just wrong, but they open floodgates of judgment and condemnation that is far worse than the floods that have recently hit the Midwest and China. These lies convince people who believe them that their source, their basic energy of life, the basic energy that brought them to life, always stands ready to cut them off and drop them into the pit. They believe, like we have heard so sadly about many parents of LGBTQ kids, they are cast out by their parents. They are told, you are never to darken my door again. Be gone. I'm through with you. You're dead to me. That's the kind of God you have to believe in if you think those scissors are waiting to cut you off and drop you into the pit. The flood waters in the Midwest and China will recede. The flood waters of these lies last for many people a lifetime. We'd love to help them if they'd let us. We know many, many people are hard to embrace, to include, to treat with respect as we acknowledge our shared humanity. It is a radical challenge. But what choice do we have? Even as we work to create justice and change circumstances that have corrupted our government and put us into yet another war, we cannot stop seeking common ground, acting with respect and kindness and compassion and generosity. No, it is not easy. But if we demonize our opponents, we are no better than St. Augustine claiming the death sentence of original sin. At the risk of sounding like a madman, and I know, Ray, that I sometimes do, this is essential truth for me. Shared humanity. We share the same ground. We share the same air. We drink from the same sources of water. I've been reading a lot about Gandhi lately, and I have learned that he did not believe Hinduism was an exclusive religion. He believed Hinduism offered a path to any person seeking truth and kindness and a generous spirit through any religion. His Hinduism in that way was exactly like our Unitarian Universalism. Listen to this from Gandhi. It is quite proper to resist and attack a system, but to resist and attack its author is tantamount to resisting and attacking oneself. For we are all tarred with the same brush and are children of one and the same Creator, and as such, the divine powers within us are infinite. To slight a single human being is to slight those divine powers, and thus to harm not only that being, but with him, the whole world. I asked Andy to include that in the order of service, and I know you all have got it. Now I want you to take it home, cut it out, and tape it on your refrigerator. Can I get an amen? You know, there's an old joke about a guy leaving the ministry and going to work for a funeral home. And one of his former colleagues said, "Why did you leave the ministry and go to work for a funeral home?" He said, "Buddy, when I straighten somebody out in this job, they stay straightened out."
That's so wrong.
I know some of you don't believe in a creator, and that's fine. But whatever brought us into being, even if it was just chemistry and biology, that is common to all of us. We have to be taught to hate each other, to grit our teeth and clench our fists into the lie of separation. We are all tarred with the same brush, and we are children of the same creative process, even if that process is simply biology and chemistry. To slight a single human being is to slight that biology and that chemistry. We need each other more than ever now that people with evil intent are running our government, loading people onto trucks just like the Gestapo did in Germany, and warehousing them in detention centers where they are barely fed and where many have died. Some have even been gunned down in the street. We need each other at a time like this. We need our shared humanity. Come help us, Sandy.
This is the talk back time of the service, when everybody can talk back in any way they want. A question, a comment, a shared experience. I might start, if I may.
Please do. Yeah.
By saying in all the hundreds of years of my life and a zillion years of Catholic school, I have never once heard anybody say what you said, is that St. Augustine just told a big lie and foisted it off on those poor old Christians who were doing quite well without it.
Exactly.
But it's what all church and other groups do if they want to gain power. They decide, I've got a swell idea. Me and my pals, most of the guys, are going to get on board with it, and we're going to keep the masses under control.
Right.
And desperately in need of us because we really are terrific. And besides, they'll give us money and feed us. It's quite refreshing to hear the other side of the story in simple declarative sentences with a few embellishments. But other comments? Questions? Come on up. Oh, it's important to bring her mic. Okay.
Yeah, bring her microphone. And while she's doing that, I need to remind you, some of you have heard this story before. When I was a Methodist preacher, we had a woman in the congregation who was not of the middle class. And she came up to me after church and she said, "My husband and I just love you." She said, "He can't read and write and you preach right on his level."
I am legally blind,
and losing my sight from a retinal degenerative eye disease
So sorry.
called choroideremia. And there were 7 people in my family that lost their sight from it, including my dad. And it was hereditary, and I ended up with a short straw. But today, this morning, when I was getting dressed, I found my pin that I had lost so many years ago. And it's, Linda, can you read it?
An eye for an eye make the whole world blind.
Yes.
So I wear that because it was the hot one I believe. it said.
Yeah, he said that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I wear that specifically because of my blindness, knowing that there are people out there that are blinder than I am.
Right.
So, of course.
Thank you, Valerie.
And I think we all have to remember that we belong to the human family.
Yes.
That's so important. And sometimes I feel when something happens to animals, it hurts me almost more than if any human get hurt. And this is not right, actually. We should even put them on this, everything on the same level. But we are the human family.
Thank you for playing, Barbara.
Oh, I hope it was okay. Thank you. I'm not gonna eat it though. I'm a vegetarian. I spend most of my time angry at the destruction of the environment, angry at the sublimation of people that can't speak for themselves, angry at what they do to animals in the food system. But when I come here, I'm not quite as angry. I feel like I have the tools to do something about it. This is my family, and you don't know how much this meeting means to me, but I'm still angry. Thank you.
Come on, Ray.
I've always found it kind of interesting that when the earliest Christians were first deciding how to present their religion to the world and what should the symbol be, they chose the cross, which at the time was the most widely recognized tool for torturing people to death.
Okay. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Pat. And now Mike Allett is somehow, with some fabulous music, going to pull all this together as the rain pours down.
Yes. Where'd my orchestra go?
Maybe I'll catch up.
All right.
You'll have to pull them out of the bathroom.
So long, see, many years have come and gone. So long, many tears still we get wrong. Streets of gold with empty hearts, you look the look, you play the part, but nothing soothes your soul. Up the hill and up again, cheek your brother just the way you meant, but you're reaping what you sow. So long, so long. Many, many years have come down. So long, so long. Many tears still roll. Long ago I heard it said, her mama kissed her baby's head, left on a cold December night. He grew to be the voice of love, brought you answers from above, gave you hope and led you to flight. How long? How long? Many, many years have come gone. You're waiting at the starting line. You're searching for a flashing sign. The spinning wheels are never gonna roll. 'Cause the answer's hiding deep within. The world's awaiting to begin. The bells of time are short and toll. So long, so long. Many, many years have come gone. So long, so long. Many tears still wrong. So long, so long. Many tears still wrong.
Well, that's definitely what we're doing.
Thank you, gentlemen. That was lovely. This fellowship is important to us all. The contributions we make today allow us to sustain and grow our congregation and to reach out to the community, both nearby and in the larger world. Your giving affirms our commitment to each other and to our community.
I have a lot of announcements. So.
Just stay. Yeah, just stay. With grateful hearts, we receive these gifts. May they encourage us to live lives of integrity, compassion, and peace. We're also grateful to all the people whose efforts make our services possible. To the work of our board, we're grateful for the practical works of service that many of you offer to help all humans, animals, and the earth. We appreciate everybody who is here in person, keeping these seats firmly on the carpeting. And to everybody who is in their Barca loungers that lean and wiggle and go side to side at home. Please take a look with me at the announcements in your order of service. We'll start with Linda because she's right here and she's got some of the really important ones.
Yeah, I figured I might as well stay here. We're going to go to the Fusion Bowl in Cornelius afterwards, so everybody's welcome there. Movie Tuesdays, I wanted to make an announcement about because we've got two movies, Hadestown and Spider-Man. Now, some of us saw Hadestown last week, and let me tell you, there were 5 people that all gave it a 10. That is unheard of. It's the original Broadway musical of Orpheus and Eurydice. Right. I mean, I never wanted to see it, but I went, and I was full of tears at the end. We're going to go see it. I'll give you another chance to see it. And then there's always Spider-Man if you don't like musicals. And the other thing I wanted to say is about the name tags. You're welcome to keep it if you will be responsible to bring it every time you come. Other than that, please put them back in the 2 pans, kind of in where you got it from, so they're there. And if there's anybody that I missed, let me know, and I can always get one for you. I think I've spoken far enough. Okay.
And famous tall person, Greg Davis, is walking this way. I bet he's got an announcement of some importance.
Kind of, a little bit.
Well,
So I don't know if it's in the program or not, but there you go. Thanks, man. I didn't read the order of service. I don't know if it's in the order of service or not. I apologize. But what I want to talk about is the meeting that we're having next Sunday, where we're going to have a vote about the bylaw that's in there. And just to be sure, because we did this announcement and there's a thing in the newsletter as well as on our website. But for our purposes today, just so we can be clear about it, how about if Jim Price talks about what these are all about? All right? Thanks, Jim.
Okay, all the fanfare. Which one? Okay, we will have the vote next week. We've been working on these bylaws for several months now. The bylaws haven't been changed in 11 years, and some of the changes were stylistic, where we were actually doing something one way, but the bylaws said something differently, partly because we changed the calendar year from July through June to the calendar year. So there are only 2 major changes, and one of those is the past president will get a vote on the board with the proposed bylaws. And also, we don't require, but we do permit co-treasurers. And when there are co-treasurers, each of them will get a vote on the board. There is a synopsis of all the changes. It's a 1-pager, and I have copies. I'm not going to read it because we've read them here several times now, and we've announced this several times. But we will have the vote after the meeting next week. We will call the congregational meeting. We will have the vote. We will have ballots. It is imperative that we have a quorum, and a quorum is 18 people. So surely we can do that easily enough. But then it'll be by majority vote. But we will vote on the bylaws. If anybody wants a copy of this synopsis, see me afterwards, and I'll provide it. If anybody absolutely had to, I could read it now, but I'd just assume not, because we've done it several times. Yes, Phil?
Is it a quorum of members or a quorum of whoever is present on that particular day?
It's a quorum of the members, so that's why I said 18 people, which is, we have, membership is 59, but there are no partial people, so if you get the quorum of 60, it's 18, so. Okay, that said, if anybody wants a copy of the synopsis, I have a few. Thank you, and be here next week.
Okay. Also next week, on Saturday, there will be a dog fence build for Hatchie. Hatchie's a 2-year-old husky who is now living on a chain. And the address of the build, which starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, is also in your order of service. You can also check the website chainfreedogs.org or contact Claudia, and her phone number is in the program. The Friday Action Hour will go on, and as it has for hundreds of Fridays, at 11 o'clock next Friday morning. If you have questions about that, ask Tracy Grimm, who is hiding here somewhere. There she is. She knows all about it and is one of the instigators.
This is Get Out the Vote postcards, for which we have, we're sending 1,000. I only have 4 packs of 25 postcards still to be taken, and you'll get the postcards. The stamps are included this round, colorful pens, so you can make them fun. And anyhow, if 4 people, they will be going to Black residents of Mecklenburg County, and they've raised 7 or 8% the participation of voters who received these in prior elections. So it's good fun and it's easy.
What day is the deal?
We're going to mail them right around the 1st of October. There was a whole question before. As I read the sample, it's more Get Out the Vote than check your registration. And so closer to the election, it needs to be better.
Tracy, do you have a good today?
Thank you, Tracy. Are there any other announcements that I either don't know about or have forgotten about? Okay. Our closing song today is a favorite in many traditions. Some of you will remember it as We Shall Overcome. I think it's number 169 in the songbook. And Mike Alec is going to run it for us.
And Eddie Gunn,
And Eddie Gunn.
wherever he is.
Three young people came in seeking shelter from the rain, and I think Eddie is out there chatting with them.
All right. We'll just have to do him proud. By the way, a year ago tomorrow, I fell out here on the sidewalk wet and broke my knee. So just, my wife already texted me. She goes, walk carefully to your car. She saw the rain. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we'll walk hand in hand someday. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall all be free someday. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday.
Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall live in peace someday.
And now we'll have closing words from Reverend Pat.
As we think about what we face in the next few weeks, as we think about doing what we can to change the power structure in this country, I keep thinking about Dr. Seuss's Horton Hears Who. And those of you who remember the story will remember that the entire Who village was on one little dandelion. And Horton was talking with the Who's, and they were talking back to him, and he could hear them, but the monkeys could not. And the monkeys decided that not only must Horton be crazy, but to demonstrate to him that there are no Who's in Whoville, they were going to throw the dandelion into the boiling oil. They lit a fire under a big pot. And so Horton explained to the Who's, you've got to go knock on every door. Are you with me, Dave? We got to knock on every door. We got to make every telephone call. We got to get everybody out doing what needs to be done to let these monkeys know that every Who in Whoville matters. In fact, Dr. Seuss said, a person is a person, no matter how small. That's right.
We close our services by extinguishing the chalice. Please say with me the words in your order of service as I attempt to make the light go out. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth. Commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again.
Well done.
Well done.